what I'm saying? And it's been, we haven't had you for a face-to-face interview. Why is it so rare that the public gets to see Eminem nowadays? What's going on?
Why is it like that? I actually need him to make my music, so he'd be busy. Ow! Ow! Ow!
Damn, you need help?
Ow!
Come on, B. Come on, B. Come on. Yo, cut the cameras, man. Come on, man. Come on,
It's no secret. Everyone knows Eminem had a drug problem and he's clean now. As you've seen in that first interview there on 106 in Park, 50 Cent had to rescue M. He was blanking out. If you go and actually watch the whole interview, he was spaced out of his mind. He actually said he didn't even remember being there the whole interview later on.
Tell us what comes across your mind when you see that.
Kids don't do drugs.
Were you on drugs?
What was going on at that time?
Yes, I was just a little wee bit under the influence on that particular clip.
Well,
Crazy part about that clip, and I don't know if people believe me when I say this, but I don't remember being here. Like, I literally have no recollection of actually doing the show. I remember going home and watching it, but I just don't remember being here.
Yeah, so you heard M. Doesn't even remember it. And that's a pretty scary thing, man, for anyone who's ever been through addiction themselves or had a really close loved one or friend or family member or whatever who's been there. You know, it truly is scary when the addiction progresses to that level, because you know that that person is ultimately flirting with death. And as I've covered in another recent video I did about addiction, a lot of times people are battling with themselves so hard to stop. For anyone who's not really familiar with it, it might sound crazy, but sometimes people truly want to stop and they can't because their body won't function without certain types of substances. And go check my other video. I'll pin it in the comments that I did yesterday, you know, about opiates and Xannies and different things like that. That kind of seems to be an agenda in hip hop and in America to kind of just push that stuff on people, and then, you know, they can't come off it. It's different than other drugs. So anyone out there battling that, try and get yourself some help, or, you know, someone with a loved one, try and help the other person out. You might be able to get through them. I always got to put that out when I cover this kind of content on my channel. But anyways, this thing got really ugly for Eminem. I mean, he talked about doing so many Xanaxes a day, he couldn't even recall how many he took. Painkillers, methadone, just all kinds of, you know, prescription pills, and you know, he actually ended up having an overdose at one point in time when he attempted to get clean. He first tried to get clean in 2005 and he had a methadone overdose. It was a really dark time for him, and that first interview was around that time. Now, Eminem came into the game on the Slim Shady LP talking about drugs. A lot of drug references and songs about drugs on that album. There's the song My Fault, where he talks about, you know, a girl eating too many mushrooms, and the song Brain Damage, where he's talking about his mom. You know, he talks about her drug abuse as well. Like, it's clear, you know, this was clearly a part of Eminem's life, and, you know, he was getting high for a long time. So when the money came in, it spiraled out of control for him. He had an unlimited supply of drugs, basically. You know, picture someone you know that has a bad drug problem, and sometimes you see him doing, you know, no disrespect, but crackhead type moves to get money, to get high. Picture that person having just an unlimited amount of cash, you know what I mean? Well, luckily, you know, Eminem is clean nowadays. Last year in 2019, he celebrated 11 years clean. And, you know, it was dope to see Eminem do that and see that he's able to continue on making music and be creative. So Eminem didn't exactly necessarily, I don't want to say not want to get clean, but, you know, he had to get clean. As I said, in 05, he attempted to get clean. He overdosed. Things didn't work out. He went full swing back into using again. In '08, it ended up getting to the point where Eminem basically knew that if he did not stop using, he may lose his life, that his body just could not handle it anymore.
I would say, get that fucking person out of here. I can't believe they said that shit to me. They know nothing about my fucking life. Are they out of their fucking mind? I'm not out there shooting heroin. I'm not out there fucking, putting coke up my nose. I'm not smoking crack. You're struggling with the argument of, do you have a problem or do you not have a problem? Can you control it or can you not? And I literally thought I could control it. Taking things that people are giving you that you don't even know what the fuck they are. They look like a pill, and they're shaped like something that you take, so you take it. Xanax, Valium, tomato. You know what I mean? It's the same thing. It's all in the same family. Fuck it, take it. Had I got to the hospital about 2 hours later, I would have died. My organs were shutting down. My liver, kidneys, everything. They were gonna have to put me on dialysis. They didn't think I was gonna make it. My bottom was gonna be death.
So, hearing that clip there, it became apparent to M. He had to get clean. He had no choice unless he just wanted to die. Well, nonetheless, it's good that he's clean. However it happened, no question. But it's something strange that I wanted to point out, that just confuses me a little bit. I mean, I know at the end of the day, this is music. People are making music. It's entertainment, and we always talk about on my channel how rappers, everything they rap about or say isn't always factual or isn't always, something they live by or necessarily, I guess, even they believe in. But on Eminem's, new release, I know you've been seeing it everywhere, off the Music to Be Murdered By album, Godzilla, which has, the Godzilla challenge and all that, and M's rapping all fast again. The song actually features Juice WRLD, who we know recently passed away due to substance abuse. Rest in peace, Juice WRLD. Well, on that track, M starts the song off by saying, I can swallow a bottle of alcohol or something like that. And he raps about drinking alcohol. And you can actually see him in the video with a bottle of alcohol. And I know, maybe M's drug of choice wasn't alcohol, it was more pills. And yes, alcohol is a drug for anyone out there who's saying, what is he talking about? Alcohol ain't a drug. It is, believe that. But, on other songs on the album too, if you guys go listen, there's a song where Eminem raps about drinking lean, and there's just some other drug references, and it was just kind of a little confusing to me. Royce the 5'9" and Crooked I actually both quit drinking and live sober lives as well, which is real cool that, all of them, they're within the same camp. They all rock with each other, and they're all clean, sober, and still making music, still pushing on and living, good lives. That's dope. But I just was curious to know, what do you guys think about this? Is this not a big deal that he's talking about alcohol and drugs? I mean, it's not on the whole album, it's just here and there, but it's just a little bizarre to me, that when you decided I gotta get clean, whether I want to live or die, and the struggle, that you would talk about that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? But what do you guys think? Do you think that's kind of whack? As far as on the track with Juice WRLD, do you think that's disrespectful to Juice WRLD's memory or sends the wrong message? Like, I'm not necessarily saying these are all things that I think, that I feel like, yeah, this is foul, etc., or this is whack. It's just some questions that kind of arose in my mind, and I was just kind of a little surprised to see M talking about drugs. You know what I mean? But anyone who's new to this channel, make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that, daily videos, music, news, sports, all that. But more importantly, make sure to get in the comment thread, because on this channel, it's all about hearing what the people got to say. So I really want to talk to you guys about this. You know what I'm saying? About M's, promoting, I guess we could say promoting drug use, or, you know what I mean? Rapping about it on his new project when he's been 11 years clean. So, like I said, this ain't necessarily this is how I feel, it's facts, but I was just kind of thinking about this. Like, I don't know, let me tap in with the people and see what they think about it. Also, something else I wanted to point out too is, nowadays, like we know Eminem's kind of a recluse. We don't even really see him that much. You know, he doesn't even control his social media, which I totally get. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying we don't really see M like that. And, you know, he's kind of a recluse. He kind of stays in the house. Even when he was beefing with like MGK and he felt he needed to do an interview behind it, he did an interview with Sway, like, which is in-house, because, you know, technically Sway works for Eminem. So I don't know, I feel like M being such a recluse like that and not really coming outside and, you know, I guess not socializing, you know, as much as possible, I kind of feel like, you know, it has to do with his former habits of using drugs. You know what I mean? That he kind of just needs to stay in the cut, off the scene, away from everything for him to remain clean. You know, I mean, I don't know. He could just not want to be around people. You know what I mean? Like, in my age, you know, where I'm at in life, I don't, you know, want to be out there around people like anywhere near the way I used to. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, nah, man, you know what I mean? Things have changed. But I don't know, tap in the comments about that as well. Let's discuss this whole thing. And like I said, does this, you know, answer or raise questions for you too? Do you guys feel some kind of way about this yourself, or am I tripping? Get in the comments, sub to the channel, hit the bell. Music, video, news, music, daily videos, music, news, sports, current events, podcasts, all kinds of content on this channel. So make sure to subscribe, hit the bell, you guys. J Coffee Talk. Thanks for watching. Support the channel, y'all. I'm out of here. Peace.